right. Well, welcome everyone. Today is March 21st. I think I just felt like we could all use some time together and come together. So I decided to put this together last minute. So thank you for showing up last minute and still be fully engaged and being in this space with us, Chris and me. And we do have a couple things I want to have announcements, and I have a couple things I actually wrote down before I get going on answering everyone's questions as much as I can. And while I'm shuffling the card, and I'll pull the card, Chris will share with you a couple things as well. One thing is that our Monday calls are always recorded, and it's posted on our YouTube channel. So if you could go to our YouTube channel, and it's in the email, it was in the email. So if you could click it, and please give us some thumbs up. I love YouTube now, because did you know the YouTube stopped doing the thumbs down? I think it's fantastic, right? Companies like that need to come out and do more of that, because what are we, a thumbs up or thumbs down people? Come on, can we have it somewhere in the gray, right? So, but please give us thumbs up, because then more people will learn about my work and our work together, Chris and my work together. So it really, really helps us. And, it's nice to see those thumbs go up too. And no more thumbs down. So I feel great posting it on YouTube. And Chris, do you have anything else that you wanted to say? I wanted to read a couple emails. I get emails all the time, people saying thank you so much, and awesome, this is feeling better and this is doing great, kind of thing. But I received an email yesterday that was really, really fantastic, and I wanted to just read this one thing to you. So she had been working with me for a little bit here, and she started to tell me that she was having this really painful big toe issue. And, nobody could figure out. She had x-rays done. I think she had like MRI done. She said, had all kinds of things done. So this last time I worked with her, I said to her, I intuitively tuned in, and I said, I really think it's actually gout. And really nobody had suspected that. And she was even shocked. She's like, no, it can't be gout. And I said, I'm sorry. And then my mind is thinking, it can't be gout. Are you serious? She eats really well. I don't even understand this. But intuition was saying it's the gout. I need to look at her gout. So I gave her a couple things that she can do. And this is what she said. She said, doctor didn't know what to do and all that. And then she said, so she said, I just went on and just was cautious, bending it in all other directions, but up, and lived with the pain for over 20 years. And she said, and in hours, because I gave her some things she can do, in hours, it was practically gone. And she said, LOL. And she's like, I can't believe that I've lived with this pain for 20 years and it was gone within hours. So sometimes that's the help we need. We just need somebody to just tune in, hone in, so you can say, this is what I need to do, right? Instead of doing everything but the kitchen sink. So, I just wanted to share that, because I was so excited. So we're going back and forth with the email last night with lots of smiley faces and exclamation marks that we were both very excited about it. So now she can walk around. She has no pain. She doesn't have to baby her big toe for the 20 years that she was babying it for. So, okay. So now, Chris, you want to just share briefly about my moon journey that's coming up, and then I will share my card that I'm pulling.
Yes, I will do that. So for those of you that saw the email that Masami sent out yesterday, she's going to be starting a new program. It's a pretty exciting one. It's called Reclaim Your Moon Power. And the whole purpose of this program is 29.5 days, which is one full moon cycle, And we're just talking about lunar cycles here. We're not talking about women's bodies specifically, in case you're a man or you're a woman that's wondering, is it going to be about that type of cycle? That's not what it's about. It's about reconnecting yourself with the lunar rhythms. And that's something that those of us living in modern culture today, in lit up houses at night and lit up streets at night, have started to lose contact with that very subtle rhythm of the moon and the nighttime in a balanced way with our daytime activities. And so Masami's running this program beginning on April 1st, and I'm going to put a link in the chat box in just a second here. So give me a moment to do that. And if you'd like to take a look, some of you may have already registered for this, so I'm going to put that up. But this is going to be a very hands-on and interactive program with live calls every weekday, starting April 1st. And so basically, Masami is going to set it up so that she's going to be giving a short teaching or short exercise or process that you can use each day, Monday through Friday, during the week of April. And then she's also going to be having 2 60-minute calls, one to kick it off on April 1st and one to complete it on April 30th. And by the way, these are the new moon dates. So it starts on the new moon and it ends on the new moon.
Yeah, and the first call is actually April 2nd because that's Saturday. But the April 1st, you will start the process because I will have some written questions that you're going to start to contemplate.
Thanks for correcting me on that one. Plus, there will also be another 1-hour health intuitive call, which will be Masami taking questions like most of you have seen her interact with people live, like we're going to do some of that today. And so she'll also be doing that for that specific group. And then everyone in the group is also going to receive a personalized email from Masami, where she is going to tune into you and give you a message for your body, basically, that tells you which part of the lunar cycle do you need to pay most attention to during those 30 days, and what part of your body, what organ of your body is most needing your attention during that time. So that's going to take it to a whole different level. The group is also going to have the opportunity to go through a metabolic reset process that Masami will guide you through. And that will help with understanding how to basically step back and create some space in your body for you to be able to detoxify, let these more subtle energies process through you, and also make space for what else is there in your life waiting for you that you may not be able to take on with that toxic burden. So just a few things. There are also several other bonuses that she's going to be bringing into that, including one lucky person, and we're actually going to be drawing that name this week on the 24th. But one lucky person is going to get a 1-week metabolic reset detox kit that's going to help support their microbiome in that process, and they can use that during that week with the rest of the group. And she's also going to be doing a private small group session. So for those of you that have had a chance to do the small group sessions with Masami before, you know what I'm talking about. But it will be a group of 4 people that will be selected out of the participants. So those are the highlights. It's coming up starting on April 1st. And I'm going to, do you want me to say anything more on this, Masami, besides putting the link up? Do you want me to share the screen to show a little bit too?
You know, maybe let's just hold off on that because we're going to be doing a Q&A.
Okay, we're doing...
Yeah, we will do a Q&A just on the moon course on Sunday, this coming Sunday, that I will answer some questions if you have. But it's a huge commitment on my part too, because I'll be on Monday through Friday every week. And I'll be doing 3 60-minute calls plus the bonuses and things like that. So it's, you know, I don't know I will ever do anything like this because Chris thought that I was nuts for doing something to this extent. But I said to myself, you know, it's like, I want to live with the rhythm of the moon more. And when I get so busy, I just don't. I find myself going, oh my God, it's full moon again, or, something like that. And I don't like to lose touch that much. So I'm doing it for myself. And for those of you that might say, Masami, I just get overwhelmed because you just share too much stuff in like a one sentence. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to hold back. I am literally going to do 20 minutes every day, 20 minutes, and usually just one practice or like one thing that will slowly shift you to get back in touch with the moon rhythm. Okay. And it's going to follow this Japanese tradition of how to work with the moon cycles. And so we'll go through each like organ. We're going to cover 4 main organs in the month. And that's going to go through 1 week at a time and different ways to connect with this particular organ this week, and the next week will be something else. And so I promise you I will not overwhelm you, because I know many of you have like folders and notebooks that you take notes from everything that I have taught so far. And some of you have shown me those notebooks, and it's like scary. It's like college level notebooks. Okay, I'm not going to do that. It's more experimental. It's very much the breathing movements. We're going to do some movements too, and getting in touch with your different organs, which I love how much I love talking to the organs. So we'll be doing that, and communications between each other in the teachable platform. So it's not a Facebook platform. All those things I think will be very supportive. So I'm super looking forward to it. And just to kind of give you a heads up, everyone, that I will be taking some time off for myself starting in June, and I will not be taking new clients from June on for 6 months, so that I can focus on writing my book for the first time. That I've been threatening myself, threatening the world. I'm going to write a book, I'm going to write a book. I've been saying that forever, and I have not gotten to it because I'm just too busy. So I'm pulling back. I will not be teaching a course like this probably for a long time. So, I made it so reasonable. It's literally $179 for 23 live calls, please. So please look into it, everyone. And then join me and let's do this together. And everybody's going to get the one email that I'm tuning into you. And I will give you which moon phase is going to be very important for you, and which organ that will correspond to also. So
Can I jump in?
Yeah. And then we better wrap up.
I'm jumping in because we're also going to do an information call for this for people that haven't had a chance to hear about it on Sunday coming up. So we'll save more of that for later, and screen share and all that. But I wanted to answer one question that came up. It sounds like several of you have already registered, so that's fantastic. And also, Melinda, your question about the calls being recorded, the answer is yes. We record all of the calls that we put into a course. So those will always be there, and they will be accessible inside of the curriculum area in the Teachable platform. And there's also a request from Helena. She says, do not hold back. That is what I love about your energy. I love about you. She says, what I love about you, your energy. And then, just a quick comment.
All right. Well, I'm not going to hold back. It's like, I'm going to try it and it'll last like 2 sessions. And after that, I'll just be like, here we go. We're going to do this.
Yes. You invited these comments, so I've got to read these out. You look lovely with your hair down. And is that a Japanese coat that you're wearing? So pretty.
Yes, I am. This is a Japanese winter jacket because we had another snowstorm, and I was just like, I'm so cold. I'm going to wear my Japanese jacket. Yes, I've had this since I was like 16 years old. I felt like being home today, so I wore it. Thank you. Yes, it's a Japanese house coat, kimono coat.
Any other announcements?
I just have one more thing about the moon thing, everyone. I'm creating it so that you can actually do this moon thing in the month of May. You can do it in June. You can do it in July. So this is not like April moon. Please don't think that way. I'm creating this so that you can actually recycle this every month forever. Okay. It's that like comprehensive in terms of how to work with the moon cycles. Okay. All right. So that, and I wanted to just share the card that many of you know, one of my favorite oracle cards. You've heard that her name, I'm sure, right? So it's Alana Fairchilds, and she always has beautiful artists that do her oracle cards. And the oracle card name is Sacred Rebels. Okay. One of my favorites. And it's perfect because with the spring and the happy fall and happy spring, everyone. This is the astrological new year, as you know, right? Aries is the beginning of the new year. So with the new year, what are we looking for? How do we connect with this next cycle of the 12 months that's coming for us? I think the most important thing we need to focus on, everyone, is not to become so trustworthy of automation. So it's like automatic autopilot kind of a movement. So many of us, as we go into April and May, we start to do things unconsciously just by, your own patterns or subconsciousness of just writing is basically pushing your life forward, not being present. And your habitual patterns will just take over. Okay. So this is the card that I pulled. What a beautiful card. And it's called Big Bold Vision. Okay, big, bold vision. Really work on what is the vision that you're working on this year. Don't lose sight of that because it's so fast, isn't it? First 3 months goes so fast. So don't lose sight of that vision, okay? And try not to get, notice yourself if you're just on autopilot and just go, oh, where did my day go? Come back to the present moment. And I think this is when you really want to question your own MO, your tendencies. So my tendencies came up a lot over the weekend too. And my tendency is to always kind of like, is Chris comfortable? Is Chris going to be okay? Does he have enough on his plate? And he started to point out, he's like, you're still hungry. Why did you give me the bigger piece of the meat? And I'm like, well, because I thought you're bigger and you probably should eat more. And then, I have a very good hunger. Like I have a very good appetite, so I can eat a lot, but I was slipping into that. So it was really good that he pointed that out. So make sure that you're not just sacrificing yourself or just just in the service of others and you forget about your own needs. It's very important that you renew that commitment with this astrological new year. Okay. And then I wrote down some things like make sure that you don't get stuck in unproductive routine or just like, oh, I just did it this way last month, so I'm just going to do it the same way. Same with the supplements, same with the foods. Seasonal change means seasonal changes in your foods and your supplements also. It means your beliefs and your ideas start to question some of them. Is that true? Is that really true? This is where the work of like Byron Katie's work becomes really important. Is this really true? Okay. Ask yourself a little bit deeper questions and break down some of your patterns. And maybe one last thing is that, because this is the renewal time in the Northern Hemisphere, this is spring, this is the new growth, this is renewal time. So what are you trying to renew? What needs the new big bold vision to renew your vision? Okay. So I think that's all I got to say. So then let's get going on the hands that are up. So please raise your hands. Chris will probably try to read some of the questions that come in the chats, but I certainly can't. It's really hard for me to pay attention to that and tune into you. So I will not be looking at that. So if you have questions, I would like for you to raise your hands. Okay. So I'm going to start with Donna. So I'm going to ask you to unmute. So hold on a sec. Yeah, you got to unmute. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. What can I do for you?
Well, I recently went to the physician, and it seems like I'm having issues with my gallbladder. Now, they said there's no infection, but that I have gallstones.
Mhm.
And so I thought that I would ask you to see what you see.
Well, I mean, the fact is, I don't need to see it, right? Because it's gallstones already, you know. So I think what you need help with is what am I supposed to do with that information, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the practical level that you need, much more than me looking deeply into you. Okay. Gallstones are very, very common. And do you mind telling me your age? And if you mind, you don't need to. Okay.
67.
Okay. Whoa, you look so much younger than that, Donna.
Thank you.
Doing something super right. Yeah. Okay, so gallstones, you know, it's really common. Anybody age, what I see is like 56 and 57 and up. I tend to see that more and more now, you know, and my mentor and I were talking about this the other day, and he said to me, he's at like 87 years old. Okay. He's started like 3 supplemental companies, and he's an incredible guy. But we were talking on the phone. He said, Sami, if you ever figured out why women have more gallbladder issues, you know, I mean, this will be the greatest studies you'll ever do, or something like that. And I said to him, I said, you know, that's been my you know, that's been something I've been thinking about for a long time. And what I would say to you is that women do get gallstones and gallbladder issues much more than men. Partially, I think because we have a sluggish hydrochloric acid is on the physiological level. And I'm going to go into the more of a metaphysical, maybe, you know, spiritual side, which is that I believe that the women take on a lot more of the ancestral and inherited energetic fields. I'm not saying the men don't, but the women tend to store it more in our gallbladder and then the liver, much more than men. But men will store them in the different areas, like heart. Okay. So heart disease, if you look at it, right, it's a little bit different in men and women also. Okay. So it's just the men store them in a different organs and tissues than women. So I think there's an ancestral stuff too. Okay. So that being said, I want to go a little bit more practical with you because you just got diagnosed with that. So we need to get going on that. Okay. So number one, when the doctor says you already have a gallstone, you want to look at, okay, am I digesting my fats well? Okay. When they can detect the gallstones, you need to take actually a break from fatty foods for about 3 weeks. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't get yes on the 4th week. So that's good. For 3 weeks, you really have to clean it up and say, okay, I am not going to add this means no olive oil, no butter, even though you know everyone. I love fats. Okay. I love fats. But you need to just take that away so that it creates a little bit of clearing for your gallbladder, okay, so that it doesn't have to process the fats, okay, but only for about 3 weeks, and then you can slowly introduce the fats back in, but it has to be done very, very, very slowly right now. Okay. And then other things that you need to start to take is some things that will break the gallstones. Okay. And I'm going to pull up my supplement list here too, so I can give you the exact. Yeah. So number 1, vitamin C becomes very important for breaking the gallstones. Okay. But you have to take a lot. Like we're talking 3,000 to 6,000 milligrams of vitamin C. So it's so much more than what you've been taking. Okay. And then let me just see fast. No. Taurine, no. Okay. So then I'm going to do, there's this product called super phosphozyme, and that breaks the kind of the calcified. So you want to stop taking calcium supplements too. If you've been taking calcium supplements, have you been taking calcium supplements?
Yes.
Yeah, you got to stop that for a little while. Okay. And it's called I call it phosphozyme, but it's a phospho. So I'm going to spell it PHOSPHOINOSITOL. That's kind of what you need to look for. And then you want to get it in a liquid form.
Okay.
And you're going to start to drink, I like to, and then you can get them in like a tablet forms too, if you need to, but if you get them in a liquid form, drink about 60 drops per day. This will slowly and surely break those stones. If you do it too fast, that can be really bad. It creates like a storm inside your gallbladder, and it can throw off your stones everywhere, and that can clog up your ducts too. So you don't want to do it too fast. Okay. So we got the vitamin C, we got this liquid that I want you to get. Okay. And then, yeah, you definitely need a hydrochloric acid too. So have you heard me talk about betaine hydrochloric acid in the calls?
Just briefly.
Okay. Are you new to my work?
Yes.
Okay, no wonder. Because those of you that have been following me is like, oh my gosh, she's going to talk about the betaine plus betaine hydrochloric acid again. It's something I talk about all the time. But women's hydrochloric acid production starts to go down. That impacts your gallbladder from releasing the bile. And that can actually cause you to have sluggish bile, and that can turn into crystallized stones. So I think this is why women have more gallstones than men. I do think so. It's because women starts to lose the production, or slows down the production of betaine hydrochloric acid as we get older. But clinically speaking, I've seen women start to lose their production rate around age 33. Okay, all the women I've worked with around 33, their production starts to go down. And that causes your gallbladder not to get the message to squeeze the bile out. Okay, so it's called betaine hydrochloric acid, and I'm sure Richard has put up on the chat how to spell that. Yes, Richard has already. So if you look at it, leave it to Richard and he'll take care of that betaine HCl. So I would take at least 600 to 700 milligrams, which is just about a 1 capsule usually, in the middle of your meal after 2-3 bites of your foods, so that you can digest your foods well. And that's going to signal to the hypothalamus, and that's going to signal to your upper GIs in the duodenum area, which is the upper small intestinal area. Don't worry, Donna, this is all recorded, so you can listen to this part, okay? Because I start talking really, really fast. Okay, so the duodenum area, that's where the acidity hits. Then when the acidic chyme, it's the food that's digested, hits that duodenum area, that sends the signal to your pancreas, and it sends the signal to the liver and gallbladder to release the bile. And you will be releasing cholecystokinin, that's a hormone, and you'll be releasing some enzymes from pancreas too. Okay. That doesn't happen if you don't have betaine hydrochloric acid production, and you're at the 67, you definitely haven't been producing betaine that well for a while. Yeah, so I'll definitely get going on that. There are other ones, and I have to tune into myself to remember and muscle test you. So I'm getting no on that. Okay, no, okay, so. Okay, yeah, I do actually get strong yes on the bitters, so I do not get yes on the Swedish bitters. I get yes on the digested bitters. So I would go get digested bitters and start using that in little before you eat. So 20 minutes before you eat, put a full dropper in the water and drink it. Okay. And then I would definitely go get the artichoke extracts, so Jerusalem artichoke extracts, and then use that with the bitters and drink it about 20 minutes before your meal, 1 dropper. Okay. I'm not talking about 1 drop. I'm talking about full dropper though. Okay. Get going on that. And definitely the 3 weeks is the time that what you're doing is you're breaking the stones into smaller pieces. Okay. So you can let go, you can release. Okay. But you don't want to be eating lots of fats while you're doing this. Okay. All right. So I hope that helps. And on the energetic side, what's interesting is I don't sense your personal anger much at all. You've done a lot of work around anger and frustrations.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't sense that from you. But I do sense it from your mother.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you might got some residual anger stones in you. So what you need to do is to decipher, because I've already deciphered it for you. I said, it's not your anger,
Mhm.
it's your mother's. So you kind of have to say, you know what, listen, I am not in charge of your anger stones in addition to my gold stones.
Mhm.
I let you go. Like you really kind of have to decipher that and say, this is not mine to take on, but this is mine. It kind of got marbled and mixed up, and you forgot which stone is yours and which is your mom's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully that was helpful.
Very helpful. Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
You're welcome. Okay. So let's see. Okay. I do not see this person's face, but it's Kathy with I at the end. So I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Hello.
Hi, Kathy.
You look wonderful today, and thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. Did you hear about my hair story before I
I did.
started? Yeah, well, thank you. All right.
Okay. So generally speaking, I recently, like last week, had a molar pulled. But before then, I was having some eye issues, which I think might have been related to the infection in the tooth. So I just wanted to see if you could, and then it was interesting that you brought up about the ancestral stuff that women hold, because I was actually told quite a few years ago that it was my job in this lifetime to clear my ancestral baggage. And it had to do with something with samurai and Japanese warriors. I'm like, great.
That's a lot to clear.
Yeah.
Just by yourself, that's a huge burden, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm wondering if some of that has to do with the eye, because something came up recently also. If someone told me that I was also holding on to a lot of past anger and grief that had to do with my eyes.
Okay. So, usually the eye things come up. I do look at a couple different things, and I actually got no on the molar that you got pulled.
Okay.
I did not get yes on the teeth connection at all with it, which kind of surprised me too, because in my mind I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's got something to do with the oral stuff. I didn't get yes on that. And your mouth, okay, so yeah, they did a pretty good job pulling it, and they did a good job cleaning any kind of infections. So I don't feel a huge need to address the oral stuff I don't believe that's actually connected to your eyes at all.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think your dentist did a really good job on that.
Thank you. Good.
I would still, because you got that pulled recently, the tissues around it is going to be pretty sensitive. So let me see. Zinc. Yeah. I would actually do something like a liquid zinc and swish it inside your mouth. Zinc is really good because it heals kind of the scar tissues too, and it heals with the tissues that's been rubbed or irritated. So you might want to get like a liquid zinc and swish it. Okay, things like that to keep your oral health good, but also healing.
Okay.
But I'm not talking about like oil pulling though. Okay,
Right.
That's not what I'm talking about. Okay, good, because I don't actually want you to do oil pulling.
Right. No, I don't. I need to let that heal, that area heal. So yeah.
Yeah. So don't do anything aggressive.
Right.
Like, using a lot of essential oils and using it on the toothpaste with lots of peppermints and tea tree. And it's not what you want to do. Okay.
Right.
Because sometimes that mindset to me, that kind of a toothpaste or like oil-based toothbrush things, the focus is too much on detox, clean, clear, kill, remove. And I feel like that's so masculine in its approach. So I don't want you to do a whole lot of that. And it's more about healing. It's more about kind of healing, but feminine in a gentle way. Okay.
Yeah, I'm using the Revitin toothpaste.
Oh,
I
good.
have that. I got it from your website, I think. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, I love that stuff.
That's what I'm using.
I can't get enough of that stuff. So okay, that's good. Perfect. So yeah, I do not sense that the eye issues is connected with that.
Okay.
However, though, your eye thing straight took me to the liver though. So that's very interesting. The liver stuff came up already in our conversations with you needing to clear, you were told to clear and things like that. So hold on. Okay, so where I get stuck with your eye issues is that clear, like big, bold vision. You know, I pulled this card, right?
Uh-huh.
It's more the vision of the current self that is not clear to me. You've done a pretty good job with the hindsight. So like, I look at, you know, are you looking at foresight? So like, what is ahead? What is behind? I got no on those, meaning that's not the area that you need to be focusing too much on, but what's now? So my question to you, Kathy, I think will be very helpful for your eye issues is to pay attention to what is it that I am doing now? What is my expression today? Who am I becoming now? So how would you answer that question? And forget about trying to clear sunrise energy. Are you kidding me? I just want to like really laugh out loud about that one.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
No, never.
Well,
I mean, if somebody told that to me, I'll be like, okay, I got Japanese in me, so maybe that. But seriously, come on. Okay. No.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, right now, actually, that came up in conversation a few weeks ago with somebody I was having, and it's actually a transition. I'm going through a transition right now of coming out of what I've been doing for decades, which I'm really comfortable and I'm really good at, but also feeling that I need to move into something different. But focusing on what that is just yet is what's been kind of elusive. You know, I have an idea what I want to do, but it's kind of like, well, I'm still vacillating between, you know, that questioning yourself is that really going to work? Type of thing. So that's, I think, part of what I'm doing right now in current state.
Yeah. So did that make sense when I said you've done a lot of work around the past and things like that? And you really need to get a clarity on what is it now? What is your expression now? What is it going to, what do you need to do now to support you in the future? But you got to get clear. And so I feel like I just want to keep pulling this card, you know. I really do. Like, I want to keep doing this to you.
Yeah. The vision, the bold vision. Thank you. That's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, so that's where I would put my focus on and stop focusing. And then please don't, you know, I think it's just too overwhelming to think that our job this time is to clear all our ancestors' issues. Come on. I mean, it's hard enough with our own selves, you know, but like what I said with Donna, you know, it's like you do want to decipher and say, is what I'm dealing with, my anger and emotions and my liver and maybe congestion and whatnot's, you know, going on in your body, let's say, is this mine to take on right now? Is this my lifetime? Or is this something I've picked up? And you do need to create clear understanding of this is mine and this isn't, okay? This is the clear vision though. You have to be clearly able to see and say, this is mine and this isn't, okay? And what is not yours, you can attend to it when you have nothing to do on this earth, okay? I'm not saying that you don't want to attend to them, but right now we have so much going on. And clearly I feel from you, Kathy, is that your inner being is talking to me and telling you, so I'm just a messenger, your inner being is like so ready to step into this next new role. So it's like, come on, identify it. Okay. This is the astrological new year. What is your new vision? Renew, commit, start getting going. Okay. And once you get going and you have a little spare time, spare energy, and then, you know, when you can begin to take care of yourself better, that's when you can say, you know what, I think I will attend to some of these maybe ancestral stuff. because it is important. It is important. Don't ignore them, but that shouldn't be your main goal. That's when your eye things will come up for you. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. That makes me feel so much better. I've been kind of doing that a little bit. It's like, right now, not in my thing, but I really appreciate you saying that so that I don't feel so like, well, maybe I should take care of that first so then this will clear up. But that makes so much more sense to me. And I really appreciate that insight. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Big, bold vision for you. All right.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Take care.
Talk to you soon. All right, so I'm going to ask Carol to unmute. She's been patiently waiting before we even started. So,
Hello.
hello. Can you turn up the volume a little bit, please?
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for calling on me. I've been excited because I knew you were going to. So thank you so much. You look so beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. I want to see if I'm working with I'm concerned about, not really concerned, but the question is about my nutrient absorption.
Yeah, you're definitely not absorbing very well, aren't you?
Well, what's happening is I have a lot of elimination throughout the morning. And so I think that possibly I wasn't absorbing what I'm eating.
Yeah.
So that one, and I'm 71 years old and I still have hot flashes, and I do bioidentical hormone replacement. And the third thing is from my neck up, I get flare-ups, skin flare-ups.
Okay.
And those are the three things of my concern right now. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank Donna. Donna, like, what? She set the stage for all of us to talk about the liver and gallbladder again. It's one of my favorite topics. I did not trick Donna to talk about liver and gallbladder. Trust me, everyone. I had no idea what she was going to ask me. So, Carol, everything you've mentioned is so much to do with the liver gallbladder congestion. And I know it doesn't surprise you. And for those of you that are doing the hormone therapy, whether it's bioidentical hormone or not, if you are doing any kind of creams or any kind of, tablet forms or whatever, you've got to get your liver enzymes checked regularly, okay? Because it does tax the liver. The moment you start taking hormone therapy, it's going to tax your liver. So everything, Carol, you're saying, I just want to go, oh my gosh, I want to start to get you on some liver support supplements. So my question is, I wonder what kind of liver supplements you're taking to support the liver gallbladder function. And when the stools become too liquidy and they have kind of like a clayish color or a yellowish tone or even the bio colors, that means, you're not processing them, but also your liver and gallbladder are just not functioning that well. Okay. And there's a dehydration happening with you too. Even though you're drinking water, it's just not getting absorbed into your tissues. Okay. Yeah. You're nodding. So I know you're getting that you're somewhat dehydrated.
I drink a lot of water and I always feel like I'm dehydrated.
Yeah. That's because your electrolyte is getting lost in all this elimination stuff. Okay. So
what a lot of coconut water, and because of the electrolytes, is that something that you would?
No coconut water for you, Carol. Sorry. Okay. No coconut water for you. Okay. So that's because it's so high in sugar. And it's feeding the microbes down below. It's really not helping with you at all. Okay. So what I would do is pinch of sea salt is great, but I would get maybe liquid minerals. And then I have one listed on my resources page and my website too, but you could get electrolyte liquids. Okay. And you can start, you can order it on Amazon and things like that, but you can start putting that into your water throughout the day. But
is that trace minerals?
Trace minerals are great too. Yeah.
I do put those in my smoothie in the morning.
Yeah, but you got to do it throughout the day. And you got to stop the smoothie nonsense too. But that's another topic, like I have to talk about the smoothie nonsense someday. Please stop, because the nourishment is not coming into you and you're giving yourself these, like, I'm assuming the smoothies is green vegetables and fruits. Is that kind of mostly coconut water?
I do the fruit smoothie, and then an hour later I do my protein smoothie.
Okay, skip the fruit smoothies altogether. Okay.
Okay.
So no more of that, but electrolyte needs to come back in. So you need to put it a lot more. I would do a pinch of sea salt and maybe even taste it. You know, I like getting crystals for sea salt, and I suck on it throughout the day so my adrenals don't dip and get exhausted. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that, and the number one, okay, so, you know, I even put down, like, because you're not digesting a lot of these things at all, they're just going straight through you. I would even do, there's this thing that Chris and I came up with years ago when we started working with clients, that we call it the babying yourself diet. What that means is that you make yourself really good soups and you blend it. Blend the soups, like a broccoli soup with a bone broth. Okay. Do you do any bone broths?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I've
so
been organic. Would you suggest I make my own?
You know, right now where I feel, Carol, is that I don't want you to waste your precious metabolic energy in making things like bone broth, which is, I love making my own bone broths, but there's so many other companies that are making beautiful bone broth right now. I just say pay for their hard labor and work and reserve that metabolic energy for you to heal. Okay. Because I think you've been through a lot. I mean, you have this gorgeous smile, sunshine personality. We can all see it. But behind that sunshine, there's been a lot of grief. Yeah.
Mhm.
Tons and tons of grief. And it's kind of catching up. I know. So baby yourself. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Everyone, could you just take a moment for her, for Carol? Put your hand on your heart and maybe other hand on the belly so that the belly is grounded, and through the legs, you can feel that she's still on this earth. Because there's so much grief in her life that part of her almost kind of got too light. She started almost leaving her. Yeah, she's nodding. So everyone, you know that's what she ended up doing. She's just almost left her body. We need her here. And just hold the amount of grief she's been carrying in her body. And Carol, we can take little pieces of your grief. Okay, so could you share some of that to us? Just, you don't even have to utter anything. You just give a little bit of a crystals of that grief to us. So we can take on some of it for you. We can digest them for you too. We can do this together. Yeah. Wow, thank you, everyone. Thank you for doing that. And let's hands together. Let's bow towards this beautiful being, Carol. We're all bowing to you, Carol. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you're doing too much. You're trying to figure things out. You're trying to, like, is this it? Is this that? Da, da, da. Put aside some of the energies for healing. Okay. That means baby yourself by making really good bone broth that you buy the bone broth for. Okay.
Right.
And cook up your broccoli and mix it together. Throw in a little bit of butter and the sea salt, and, you know, chew your liquids. Okay. Everyone write this down. Chew your liquids and drink your solids. Okay. Chew your liquids and drink your solids. That means you got to chew, chew, chew. Hot flashes at 71 years old is a direct connection to the liver being congested. But the liver is also congested because you're having to sort out so much emotions.
Okay.
Do you have children, Carol?
Yes, I have 2 biological children and 2 stepchildren.
Okay, so one of them is, you know, going through a really hard time.
Yes.
Yeah. And that,
Actually, both my biological ones are.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say one or two. And that's really impacting you as a mom.
Mhm.
So take time, let others make the soup for you. Okay, you just do the last prep part. Okay, mother yourself, baby yourself, feed yourself that is a little more liquid and chew. Okay, and I think you'll benefit from just finding maybe a liquid kind of multivitamins because
Okay.
you're just overall malnourished.
Can you be specific on that? The liquid multiple vitamin?
So, I usually use the biotics kind and they do have the liquid kind, but Carol, why don't you just reach out to My Breathe Inc. Okay, mybreatheinc@gmail.com, and I will give you the exact ones that I think will be good for you.
Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Namaste.
Namaste. All right. I'm going to go to Alan. So I've asked you to unmute. I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Good to see you, Alan.
Thank you.
In the sea of women. I just love that you show up.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I raised my hand because I've been having trouble with arthritis in my knees and my thumbs. And what would you recommend about that? Is there any emotional component involved? Because what it's creating a lot of fear and distrust in terms of not feeling safe.
Yeah. So.
And I love your energy, Masami. I don't come on all the time, but I just love your energy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I know you love Chris too. You two have side comments going on. I know it. I know you two are going back and forth. Okay. So yeah, this is, man, Alan, this is deep. So first of all, let me talk a little bit about arthritis. Yeah. And I'm going to talk about it not from too much about the physiological standpoint, even though that's very, very important. I do believe that your question around the emotions and things, I think it's maybe very important right now. So arthritis that show up on anywhere in the hands, but especially thumbs, okay, and also knees, you said, right? Those are kind of defines humans. I just kind of want you to kind of picture everyone. To be a human being, it's very important to have thumbs, right? But also the knees are it's not unique to us, but as upright beings, your knees are the first place that takes you forward in your life, right? I call them like the spotlights, right? Like a car spotlight. Other animals have knees, but they're generally their nostrils or their nose or their forehead or some parts of the head will take them first, right? Or their toes or something. But in the human bodies, it's the knees. So I feel like, Alan, there's a part of you, the fear shows up. So it's kind of a catch-22 here, vicious circle here a little bit, chicken or an egg kind of a question. Because the fear causes you to not be able to move forward using your spotlights, okay, or the headlights. And then that fear causes you not to hold on, holding and gripping and releasing. So much to do with the fact that we have these thumbs, right? That's what makes that possible, right? So I feel like in your life, there's been limited relationships you've had, and the relationships that you've had have not had enough energy exchange of giving and receiving. Okay. There's been too much of one or the other. And that could differ from this relationship is all about taking and this relationship is all about giving. Okay. I don't sense that you are much of a taker, but that's not, always being a giver isn't a good thing either. Okay. So you're stopping yourself from moving forward.
Oh,
Yeah. So those are showing up. And when humans don't have mobilities and when we don't flow, okay, when we don't have the movements in us, the stagnation starts to take over. Of course, the fear will build up in us, right? And when arthritis, well, so I'm going to come back to the arthritis again. And I actually muscle tested and I did get yes, I'm going to mention it, is that autoimmune conditions like arthritis, okay, or MS or other conditions, okay, has a lot to do with undigested anger, okay. But with you, Alan, and I want all of you to hold the space for him right now. Don't be multitasking right now. What I'm about to say to Alan is very important. Please don't multitask. He has a turned inside anger. It's like he has turned himself inside out, but it's basically the anger is directed at him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's just breathe. And breathe for Alan to everyone. He has not been able to take a full breath for a long time. He wasn't allowed to take full breaths. Yeah. Alan, I love you. I hope you know that. And I'm not just saying that, because I grew up in a society that my mother said, I love you to me twice. So
Mhm.
I don't say this lightly. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
What you said is right on. It just feels right. It just feels right. And it's just so wonderful to be seen. Thank you.
I see you, Alan. I see you, just bright light that you are. This gorgeous, beautiful, gentle soul that you are. But you have homework. You know me, right? I give everybody homework. So this is the astrological new year. You've got to renew your commitment to stop turning that anger inward. And what does that mean to you? And what are some of the things you can start to do for yourself to stop doing that? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to hear from you. mybreatheinc@gmail.com. I'll be expecting your email in about a week. Okay, maybe 5 days.
Thank you.
Love
Love
you.
you too.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to do one more person. Chris, are you okay with that? Do you see any questions coming in? Where are you, Chris? I don't even see you.
I am still here.
Oh, there.
Yes, there are some questions that have come in the chat. And maybe we can just take a couple of those just as some comments that you can just tune into.
Sounds good.
One is that she is having a hard time putting up her hand. So she says, my hair is thinning. The doctor said it is stress. So I was thinking about zinc and going back to massages. Is that a good route to start?
Ooh, I love it. I love the fact that you arrived there, because I would have said zinc immediately. Okay. So many of you know my journey with my hair loss. Maybe I haven't talked about it much, but about 2 years ago now, Chris and I were both exposed to a tremendous amount of black mold. We had a leak in our house in a toilet that it was going on for probably a long, long time. You know, it was an old toilet. Remember those toilets that had a green or pink toilets? We had the green. We had the green toilet with the green sink with the pink tiles. And that toilet had been leaking for a long time. We had no idea. And my office space was right underneath it. And I kept saying to Chris, I said, there's something wrong in this room. Something is not right. Where is the mold? Where is the fungus? We couldn't find it till one day the ceiling came down. Okay. And we were exposed to tremendous amount of black mold that really did us in. And so it's taking me 2 years to grow my hair back to the point that I feel comfortable even wearing it down. Okay. So it takes time for the hair loss to come back. But what I want you to understand is that skin, hair, and nails are the direct expression, and teeth too, but they're the expressions of how nourished you are in your body. So if you're losing your hair and it's not from like a mold exposures like we did, then you need to start to take not just zinc, but multivitamins. You need to start to nourish yourself. You got to be very careful about blood sugar dysregulation. So you can't do eat snack all day long and hope to God that your blood sugar will be balanced. You got to start to eat 3 really good meals and stop the snacking. And yes, zinc is really, really important, but the hair requires nutrients. Like we need amino acids, good fatty acids, good minerals, but you can't absorb these things if you're not nourishing your body with the good food. So hair, nails, skin, when things start to show up in those things, you've got to look at, am I nourishing myself? Am I taking care of myself? And also, Ayurvedically speaking, everyone, when you begin to lose hair, and Chris didn't lose much hair, I did with this issue, the black mold. People that are more Pitta constitution, okay? So in Ayurveda, if you're a Pitta person, which is a fiery people, okay? You know me, I'm not like, earth and water and quiet. Okay, that's Chris. That is Kapha. That's Chris for you. Okay. He's my grounding source. I'm the Pitta. Pittas are fiery people. So we tend to lose hair in that kind of a stressful situations because we bring our energy up and out. Okay. So yeah. And she says, yes, I am Pitta. So all right, so Pittas need to get more earthy, more grounded, make mud cakes in the spring. If you have grandkids, play with mud cakes, okay? Sometimes you could lick the mud cakes and get your minerals too, but that's another story, okay? So get a little more earthy kind of activities and find people like Chris in your life. That will get you to get grounded. Is massage good? Yeah. But I would probably focus a little bit more on maybe a lower body massage. So like pelvic floor, lower back, down to legs and calves and feet. That's the kind of massage that I would get a little bit more of. Okay. So, and use a lot of oils, like sesame oil is really good for pittas because it's tridoshic oil. That's very calming to us. Okay. So that's what I got. Anything else, Chris, for questions that?
There are plenty of questions. It's a matter of time because we also have still a lot of hands up. So do you want to?
I might go to the hands up one. Is that if there's a quick question I would answer on the chat.
I don't know that there are any quick questions. There is one about, let me go back a little bit. It has to do with dealing with sticky mucus in the throat and secretions. She's avoiding dairy, but the mucus is making it harder to swallow than ever before. And she also has a sinus condition that never goes away. There's the key.
Okay. So this is actually a quick one, Chris. Good job for finding a quick answer one. Yes. Okay. Okay. Anytime, everyone, you're experiencing mucus productions in the sinuses, your throat, or like a mucus coming up through the lungs kind of feeling, that is a classic sign that you're low on iodine. So you got to get liquid iodine in you. Okay. Gargle with the liquid iodine, do the nasal rinse with iodine, but also consume iodine rich foods like kelp. And also I would get the iodine in the liquid form and drink it. And then also we take iodine supplements like tablets as well. So that's how I would do it. Okay. You're welcome. The person that asked about the hair says, thank you. XO. Not SO, XO. You're welcome. Okay. So I'm going to go to one more last. Is that okay, Chris? One more person that has their hands up.
Yeah, and just a quick comment. Melinda says, once again, so much helpful information. Great call. You are also great on Beyond the Ordinary and Elevated Existence.
Thank you. And please, everyone, really look into doing the moon journey with me because we get to have fun like this, like every day. I know by the end of it, you'll be like, oh my God, I wish she will stop getting on the calls. But, join me, please join me and let's do this together. Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask them unmute Jane because I don't know I've ever spoken to Jane before.
Hi there, Masami.
Hi,
Jane.
Jane.
You did speak to me in a small group of 4.
That's right. Like, so I remember the background and I was like, I think I did, but okay.
Yes, I am signed up for your moon journey, so I'm looking forward to that. So thanks for calling on me today. I've had a sty in my left eye kind of off and on for the last 3 years, and now I've started to develop some redness on my lips, almost like a little bit of an infection, and my upper eyelid in the crease. It seems like I'm a little inflamed.
Yeah, I actually get yes on more of like a local fungal infection kind of thing. Has the doctor looked into that at all? Any kind of like a localized fungal infections in that region?
He did, but because he wasn't sure, he wants the dermatologist to do a biopsy in case it's a type of cancer.
Oh, he jumped to cancer instead of fungal. Okay.
Did.
I wouldn't jump to cancer whatsoever.
That's
I
not
don't
where my head went either.
That's a huge jump. No, I do feel like there's a localized fungal overgrowth stuff happening. So do you do any like eye washing or anything like that?
I do not so much eye washing, but sort of like a polysporin for the eye, right?
Okay. I believe that's kind of an antifungal stuff.
Yes.
Yes, you're already using antifungal. Okay. So, all right. This is why I love trusting my own intuition when my intuition says, go to the eye fungal. It's kind of what happens is that there's this thing called biofilm. Okay. So everyone biofilm, you got to learn about the biofilm. So biofilm is just like a sticky things. They use it to clean people's sewage water and things like that too. So it's very, very sticky. Okay. But it gets formed with all kinds of pathogenic stuff in there. So if you find fungus, you're going to find yeast in there too. I actually looked into if you had a candidiasis and I got no on that, but could be some other maybe yeast, stuff. The fungal yeast, sometimes like viruses will go in there, some parasites can go in there, but they create these kind of a sticky things. And when you use things like antibiotics or antifungal agents and things like that, it'll momentarily or for a while, it will break the biofilm. Okay. But it disperses what's in the biofilm into the ear, nose, throat area too. Okay. Makes it kind of worse because it breaks the film. So you go, yeah, but then you don't know what the heck is in that biofilm, right? Biofilm gets created to protect themselves, but it's also protect you from having to deal with it also. Okay. So here's the tricky part. When you do too much of the medication, eye drops and things like that, it can break free of what's in there and it can make their way into the sinus cavity and into the throat and all kinds of not so good stuff. Okay. So, and that can actually, for some people, if you break biofilm too fast, like by doing detox and cleanse and, heavy metal detox and stuff like that, that can actually lead to some people having cancer cells because your body begins to see that there's something pathogenic that is thrown all over your body. Okay. So, but I don't jump with the cancer with your eyes whatsoever. So please don't go down that road. Okay. Erase that even word. Okay. But right now, what I would do is I would start washing your eyes with like a gentle like, once again, iodine is fantastic for fungal stuff. Okay. Using like a liquid zinc can be really helpful. HOCl, which is like a spray that you can spray. When I get irritated eyes, I always do, you could do nebulizer, but you can just spray HOCl. Okay. And what else? So it's just, don't use like harsh things like that. Okay. And some, some dermatologists will say you can get baby soap or something, baby shampoo, and then wash your eyes. But that's, to me, even that's too harsh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when you talked about the liquid iodine for the eye, would I actually just drop the iodine right in the eye?
No, good question. So I will put it in a filtered water,
Okay.
like a 4 ounces or 3 ounces of water, and put a full dropper of iodine in there. And then you bring your glass right up against your eyes, and then open and close and open and close, and rinse it like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would gargle with the iodine and sea salt water. I would gargle so it doesn't, the biofilm stuff or whatever that is starting to spread doesn't spread into your lungs and go into other areas either. So you can contain it right in this space.
Yes. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. And, will you look back at, will you listen to what I said to, not just Alan, but, the eye not seeing what it is that you're supposed to do right now, idea that I brought up with Kathy,
Mhm.
that was for you too.
Okay.
Can you feel that?
I do feel that. Yes.
Yeah. You've been in a transition.
Mhm.
You've been in a transition. And what your body is saying is, enough with the being in a transition. Can we get there?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Because we could spend the next decade being in the transition.
That's right.
Right. And your body is like, can you tell her to stop being in the transition? Can we just be here? Be here now. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so keep me posted on that after you go to the dermatologist too. But yeah, I think you do have maybe a localized, some sort of a fungal stuff going on. So it's good to get checked, and then, but do those things to clear things up. I wouldn't use harsh chemical eye drops type of stuff.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. All right. I think that's it. Otherwise, we'll be here till 9 o'clock at night, everyone. And some of you are already 9 o'clock because you're at the UK time. I see you, Angela. All right. So I think that's it. Where's Chris? Oh, there's Chris. Anything else to add?
I think that's good.
You wrote something about the biofilms. Will you just read it out loud for
I
people?
just made that point just so that it's a little bit clearer what you were saying. I said biofilms are symbiotic complexes made out of bacteria, fungus, yeast, and other microorganisms. They often form in mucosal tissues of the body. That's mucus-producing tissues of the body. And then they can also block the nutrient uptake in our tissues because they'll get them first to feed themselves. And then they also release their own toxic byproducts into our fluids, into our blood, into our lymph. And that can create issues as well. And then I just put as a final comment, they also love sugar. So for people that are having issues that relate to biofilms, that's one of the first things you want to look at is sugar consumption. And here's something that unfortunately we don't talk about enough. Stress is also a form of feeding sugar to both your cells and to the microorganisms in biofilms, because stress creates instant and vast amounts of sugar very quickly in your body. So just keep that in mind too, that stress levels are something you want to be paying attention to as well.
Good point. Thank you. And the only sugar I need is Chris. No, I like my ice cream too, but sharing ice cream with Chris is even better, So anyway, so I think that's all we have. I'm glad I could come on. And, like I said, in the Sufi tradition, one of the meaning of gratitude is to really share what you also need. And as you can see that, doing this work feeds me so much also. Not the biofilm, but it certainly feeds my soul and my spirit. So it's a mutual exchange anytime I get to do this. So I'm looking forward to doing this again. And thank you for sticking around, and we will see you very soon. And then we'll be doing a Sunday call to talk about the moon journey. So for those of you that are still wondering, should I sign up, not, or even you've signed up, come on. You know, I always have nuggets of kind of a cool things to share. So come on, and I will be sending emails on that in couple of days. So I will see you, many of you, on Sunday. Bye.